Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this very biased recap of Stranger Things. I hope everybody had a peaceful, restful, and amazing holiday. And I also hope if you did celebrate by watching Stranger Things, that I hope you enjoyed it as well. I know I loved it. Guys, I can't wait to get into that. Volume 2 and the finale were just... I don't know. Firstly, I have to show you this because, I'm really, really proud of it, and I have no one to show it to. So, I made this. Isn't it so cute? I made a Stranger Things sweater, and I embroidered everything by myself. Isn't that cute? I wore it to the finale. It's so cute. I'm in love with it. Definitely going to make more sweaters. Isn't it cute? Oh my god. Maybe I'll start an Etsy shop. Let me know. Should I start, making these? I can make, a bunch of embroidered stuff. I love embroidering stuff. It's so fun. It was the most I think I've cried ever. I cried. So, for Volume 2, it was fantastic. I watched it with my boyfriend. We were just sitting here. I cried a lot at those as well. But the finale was the most special thing to me. Oh my god, I don't care what anybody says about the finale. It was so special to me to be able to watch something that I've been watching since childhood, with a bunch of other people. And I love watching stuff in theaters. It is one of my favorite experiences. And to just see everybody's faces and hear everybody crying and hear their reactions and them jumping and and just cheering and clapping. It was so beautiful to experience that with other humans. I'm also the type of person, I know a lot of people online were saying oh, Stranger Things is not something you want to watch in a group full of other people because I want to cry, which is, I agree. I did cry a lot and it was quite embarrassing, but it was so special to be able to share something like that with a group of other people that love something as much as you do. So I wouldn't change that at all. That experience was so beautiful to me, and I'll always hold it and cherish it in my heart. I love it so much. What a fantastic, fun show that was. So yeah, seeing that in theaters, core memory for me now. I don't think I'll ever be able to top that. That was so beautiful. So let's get into season 5, episode 5, episode 6, episode 7, and then finally episode 8. I just want to give a quick recap on what happened so that we can just fly through and give my opinion on everything. So, chapter 5 was called Shock Jock. In Camazotz, the kidnapped children wake up in Henry's dreamland and immediately believe, most of them anyway, believe that Henry is saving them from the monsters that lie outside in the real world. The only two that do not believe him are Holly and Derek. Holly meets up with Max, and together they move through Henry's memories trying to search for an escape. Derek tries to distract Henry, who then finds out the plan and then threatens Derek's family. In Hawkins, Will and the group reanimates a dead Demogorgon using the radio tower's voltage so that Will can connect to the hive mind so that he can kill Vecna. Vecna is pretty strong, so Will isn't able to kill him, but he instead breaks Vecna's leg, saving Max and Holly so that they can run away, but collapses before he can kill him. Meanwhile, Hopper and Eleven escape the military base with Collie, who reveals that Dr. K has been using her blood in similar experiments to Dr. Brenner, and explains that to Dr. K, Eleven is the key to creating more children with powers. Dustin, Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan are searching the Hawkins lab for a key that Dustin thinks will open the giant wall in the Upside Down. They eventually go onto the roof and find that the whole Hawkins lab is kind of melting into this goop. And they realize that it's because there's this giant ball of matter in the sky. And so Nancy and Jonathan think that that is the key that Dustin was talking about. But after finding Dr. Brenner's lab, Dustin realizes that breaking that matter or disrupting it in any way could destroy everything, including everything in the upside down. It just will like implode on itself. But like Nancy fashion, Nancy fires with her gun right at the sphere before Dustin can stop her. Chapter 6, Escape from Camzots. After Nancy shoots at it, the sphere detonates. Hawkins' lab starts to melt, trapping Nancy and Jonathan in this like goopy room. And Nancy and Jonathan, who believe they're going to die, end their relationship in the weirdest way, most mature way. But anyways, before it gets any worse, they just basically reveal that they don't work together in this room, and then he unproposes to her. So he's like, will you not marry me? And I did not know that was a breakup until afterwards. But luckily, the goop stops gooping at some point and just like hardens, and they're able to not drown in it. When Dustin and Steve rescue them from the room, Dustin explains that the upside down is not what they thought it was. That it is not a parallel dimension as they thought, but a wormhole into another realm. In Camzots, Max and Holly witness a memory of young Henry killing a man out of self-defense. Unfortunately, Henry uses the unconscious Will to track the location of Max while she's in her real-life body in the hospital in her coma. Sends demo dogs to kill her at the hospital, where Lucas, Robin, and Vicky fight them off and are eventually trapped in the laundry room. And because Max is so close to returning to her body, Lucas does not want to shut the music off, and the demo dogs are about to kill them. And like baddie fashion, Mrs. Wheeler, Karen Wheeler, kills all the demo dogs. Really, really badass. Hopper, Eleven, and Collie return to Hawkins, and Eleven frees Will. And eventually, Max, who figures out that she didn't need the music all along, she just needed the memory of Lucas, she returns to her body. But before escaping Vecna's mind, she helps Holly to find her own path out. And they have the longest conversation before they decide to run towards the opening. Okay, Chapter 7, The Bridge. Max awakes safely in the real world, but Holly awakens in the abyss. Dustin and Steve rescue Nancy and Jonathan, but see Holly falling through the upside down. But Henry pulls her up with his telekinesis back into the abyss. Everyone reunites, and Dustin explains that the abyss is a separate dimension, while Max reveals that his plan all along was to merge it with Earth. Holly tells Eleven that once Henry is defeated, they must sacrifice themselves and die to prevent the experiments from ever being repeated. Will has a coming out scene where he comes out as gay to everybody so that Henry can't use that part of him as leverage. As preparations begin, Henry tells all the children that Holly was brainwashed by a monster and is beaten by it's like a 12v1. And then Henry links up all the 12 children into trances so that he can finally carry out his plan. Okay, Chapter 8, The Right Side Up, the finale. Eleven, Collie, and Max enter Vecna's mind to stop the worlds from merging. But Henry transforms into Vecna and escapes into the Upside Down, where he manipulates Hopper into breaking the link. Akers fatally shoots Collie, prompting Eleven to kill all the soldiers inside. Inside Henry's mind, Holly leads the other children into safety into the cave after 11, Collie, and Max convince the kids that Henry is evil. Will finally taps into Vecna's mind. The whole team makes their way into the abyss, where Vecna's physical body is and where all the 12 children's physical bodies are as well. Will learns that Henry was corrupted by a fragment of the Mind Flayer when he was a boy, and he killed that man in the cave, and he opened a briefcase revealing a part of the Mind Flayer and being corrupted, which Henry ultimately embraces, unlike Will. The Mind Flayer rises in physical form out of this tree looking thing that Vecna is actually inside of. The group gathers to destroy it by conquering it from every angle and throwing fire at it. 11 and Will together impale Henry on this spike, Joyce later decapitating him as he dies, with a beautiful line with the only swear word in the series, or serious swear word in the series, And it was such a beautiful scene. And as she's like cutting his head off, you see every single person's trauma. I'm like literally getting goosebumps thinking about it. But it's everybody's trauma and everything that's happened to them. And it's just like, that just like, oh my god. After the Upside Down is detonated, Dr. K arrests all the group. But 11 sadly chooses to stay behind in the Upside Down. 18 months later, Hawkins' life resumes. Hopper proposes to Joyce and talks about leaving to start fresh in Montauk, which is actually a callback to what the show was actually supposed to be named and where it was supposed to take place. It was supposed to take place in Montauk, Long Island, I think. And it is graduation day for Max, Lucas, Will, Dustin, and Mike. Dustin has a beautiful speech at the ceremony. They have one final D&D game, and Mike imagines their futures while still holding on to the hope that 11 is still alive. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to talk a lot about the finale because that's just like the main event. Watching it in a theater was different, and I think that changed my opinion on the finale quite a bit. I thought the finale was made for a theater. It was so beautifully done. The sound design and everything was like insane. And we need to talk about the backlash because there's been a lot of backlash. I watched the finale and I deleted TikTok, so I didn't really have any TikTok videos or anything about it. And then I re-downloaded it again for a bit, and it was just slander. Like, everybody was hating on the finale. And like when I first saw like all the slander, I was like, really? Like, okay, I get it wasn't like I don't know, it wasn't like the Mona Lisa, but it was so fun, and it was honestly like I enjoyed it. I've been seeing people calling it rushed or disrespectful or like stupid and unrealistic. Unfortunately, the finale doesn't give everyone what they wanted. It doesn't hand out like all the clean answers, and it doesn't reward every single fan theory that's been thought of over the years. Like, I know everybody is really upset with Byler right now not happening, and that is understandable. Like, Will's feelings for Mike have always been there. Like, we've known that from the beginning. Like, he's always been gay. But Mike has had a girlfriend for 5 seasons. And at the end, the show chose to have a moment between Mike and 11 where they showed every part of their relationship, and I thought that was really beautiful. But I do get everybody's point on Byler because like there was a lot of signs and everything. But the thing is, like, I don't know, I think Will liked Mike. I don't know if Mike liked Will. Like, I don't know, like, that's just my opinion. I don't know if Will, or I don't know if Mike even liked 11 really, like that. I think they grew up together. I think they were like best friends. But I think the moral of the story for Will was to find that within himself, to not have to rely on relationships. Also, I've seen people critiquing the last hour and just calling it emotional mush, which I understand it did go a lot, and it leaned into that emotional side. But it was trying to land a huge story with a massive cast, which actually is one of my critiques of the season. I think that they added way too many characters in, and I really wanted our main characters to be the main characters. Like, I didn't really want to introduce people just to for a couple episodes, you know? That's my personal gripe with the season. I wanted more about the characters we had grown to love already. But I understand that wrapping a show up like this to this large of a scale is really hard to make everybody's ending happy. Overall, to me, that last hour felt like a love letter to the fans. Everyone who spent nearly a decade watching that show together, rewatching it and arguing about it and making theories about it and being way too attached to these characters. And it felt like, in a way, the show was saying goodbye to us as well. I've also seen a lot of people complain that not enough characters died, and I agree there. I think it's like a really cool thing when shows like have the balls to like kill off a bunch of characters and stuff. Like, I think that that's really cool, because it shows like the show has depth and like plot armor. I don't know, it's cool. I like it when shows do that. It's very like realistic and cool. But everybody also has to remember that sci-fi is not realistic, and it is never going to be realistic, and it is not based in realism at all. Stranger Things is literally a show about monsters. It has never been realistic. They are like, it is a show about a girl with telekinetic powers and a alternate dimension and monsters and all this stuff, you know? Like, they're allowed to do like plot armory things. I don't know. It's not based in realism. It's about good guys winning and like friendship being like a force. Plot armor exists in almost every single sci-fi thing we love. And honestly, I did not care unless the characters had a happy ending. I'm attached to these characters. I wanted them to have a happy ending. I'm glad that Steve didn't die on the tower. There's a lot of realistic parts of the show, but at the end of the day, it is based in fantasy. It is based in sci-fi and these like fictional things that are going on. So like, there is going to be, I feel like in every story, the good guy wins, and there's like gotta be an ending to the battle. Like, it can't all just be like twists and turns. Like, there has to be a part where they wrap it up. And that's why I thought Eleven's death was beautiful. I loved that they killed off Eleven's character. I thought it was beautifully done, that the show starts with her and everything in the beginning happens with her, and then it ends with her. Like, that is so perfect, and it ties up the story so well. And the theory that she might be alive at the end, I don't believe it. I personally read that as like grief and denial from Mike. I read it as people convincing themselves that their loved ones are in a happier, better place because it's easier than accepting that they're gone. And that felt like the realistic part to me. But anyways, I think that the internet plays a huge part in the way that this finale was received. I feel like it's one opinion that's snowballed into the same regurgitated talking points. And honestly, I'm just gonna accept that it was fun. And I don't appreciate from other fans like saying that some fans are dumb for like enjoying that, because I don't know, it was a special moment. Like, you can't take that away from people as well. And I'm not trying to take away like their feelings on it. It's valid, but at the same time, like it's valid the way I feel too. It felt personal and intentional and made for fans like me. Don't get me wrong, I don't consider this season to be half or like even in the realm of being as good as season 1 or season 2. I think those are masterpieces. And yes, they could have ended it with them, and I would have been happy as well. But I get what I get. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it was good and it was beautiful, and I'm happy to see that the characters are happy, you know? Like, I do care about these characters, so. And there are problems with it, like 100%. Like, it's not perfect at all. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not dumb. Okay, like, I know. I think I have a soft spot for this show, and I said to my boyfriend, like, early on, before we watched it, I said, I honestly don't care how they end the show. I would be happy anyway, as long as my characters are happy, because, like, those characters feel like family to me, and, like, I really only cared that they were, like, happy and, like, not dead. I also think everybody online is going through like a mass psychosis right now. Like, have you guys heard of the conformity theory, where people think that that ending was so bad that they're going to release a new episode on January 7th that basically is like, oh, we're all under Vecna's curse and that was all just like a dream. I think it's quite interesting. if it does happen. I'm going to feel really embarrassed if it was, because I cried during that. It was quite emotional, saying goodbye. It sounds so silly, and like the last video I posted, I got comments saying like, it's just a show, and like that hurt because I was like, I know. I think it's cool to feel so passionate about something. I think everybody should be chalant and care about things and be nerdy about things, because honestly, that's super cool. And personally, in 2026, that's in for me, because what is life without enjoying things? Like, what is the point of life? What is the point of all the shows and the media that we consume if you don't nerd out and love it so much? This is my last Stranger Things video, so I'm so sorry, guys. It has been so many Stranger Things videos. Like, I hope you guys are not sick of it. I'm moving on, okay? I promise I'm moving on. I will be moving on to another topic next video, so I'm really sorry if you're sick of Stranger Things. You just have to deal with it. I love Stranger Things. But anyways, that's it. That's me closing a chapter of my childhood, and it kind of feels like a part of my childhood is gone now. So, it's quite emotional to say goodbye, but I'll probably have to heal for a bit. But yeah, happy 2026, everybody. I hope everybody is reigning in the new year, and I hope everybody's got their New Year's resolutions going. I know I do. But anyways, my name is Isabella, and thank you for listening and joining me today. If you liked today's video, you should hit that like button, because it really helps me out. And like always, if you had fun this time, you should subscribe, because I guarantee you'll have fun next time, because I do post every other Monday. Anyways, love ya. Great to see ya. And I will see you next time. Bye.